Hi, hi, hi. Hey, hey. How are you? So I need to, how long is that one? That one's only 1:52. I want the, .528 Hertz. There we go. Getting the 528 Hertz out. Anxiety relieving. Oh, it's only 21 minutes. Whoops. I'll have to. Whatever you want, girl. Just go with it. I know I'm loose and fast with my meditations. I don't prepare, and yes, but literally, I like to do them more off the cuff. I'm doing this 300-hour teacher training, and with Chris and Piper. Yeah, so I'm doing the same one. And I told Piper, who's one of the ladies, I'm like, I don't like to write my meditations down. I like to kind of feel at like what I'm feeling and talk to that, or talk to like the theme of, so I'm going to touch on what Charlotte's written for the journal prompt for tomorrow with our spring cleaning thing. Yeah. So she was like, that's great, but I want you to write out like the one that I sent her for my homework. She's like, I want you to transcript that so that you have one as your go-to if you need to come back to something, like if you need something prepared. I'm like, oh. So I'm going to set this one up. I don't want to write it down. Don't make me do it. Let's see. I'm going to call this spring cleaning meditation number dos. No, why does this say March? It is, what is today, the 29th? Holy cow. I know, right? Mm-hmm. Caitlin, that's kind of mean. Hi. Do you do the one in Bentonville? My friend, I used to work with Elizabeth Bolin. She's one of the teachers there. I guess she does either morning or evening or something like that. I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth's the blonde one. She's real goofy. I love her. She's my favorite. I used to work with her at Sam's Club and with the board of directors when I worked at Walmart. Yep. Yep, you got to eventually progress to heavy stuff, but so good for you. When you come do you should come try my TRX class on Wednesdays. Oh, it would actually be good for your rotator cuff, but you just probably wouldn't go as far. Yeah, just don't go as far. Wednesday noon is not. The noon classes, because people aren't working in an office right now, are not quite as full, but we'll eventually. There's the little burn mark. Somebody burned my floor. We're just setting shit on fire here. I think it was incense, and they put it on the floor. 45 minutes. 45. Yeah. All right, let's get started. Whatever comfortable position you can lie down, you can sit. Hi, come on in. Do you need a mat? Yeah, grab one, and then grab whatever you want for props. Hey guys on Zoom, whatever comfortable position you want to be in for meditation. Yeah. Bolsters, she knock you over. You're so sorry. The new guy did really good. I was really impressed. He said, well, I've done yoga a couple times. I told him afterwards, like, you haven't done yoga a couple times. Yeah, it was good. All right, so settling into your meditative position, give your body and your brain a couple of moments to join together, right? Because there's a little concept in yoga that, your body is only capable of being physically in one place at one time. Your mind, though, can time travel. So just imagine what that would be like if you could physically time travel. It might actually be possible, but we as humans haven't quite gotten to that point in quantum physics yet, unless you're an Avenger. And then I hate to ruin it for you, but they mastered time travel. But your body can only be physically in one place. Your mind can time travel. It can go to the past, it can be in the present, and it can be in the future. It can create scenarios, conversations, and situations that have never, ever occurred. So what would it be like if your body could actually time travel and it could go back into those situations in the past that maybe you want to do again, whether it's to be able to visit a loved one that's no longer with us, or to redo a specific situation or scenario? Or what if your body could travel to the future and you could see what the future holds for you in another year or 2, or 5 or 10? What would be the pros and cons to being able to physically time travel? Now let's bring our body and our mind here to this present spot. Since time travel isn't possible, our body is here on the mat. So bring your awareness of your mind to your breath. Like a computer coming online, we want to unionize or yoke our mind to our body here in this present moment right now. Not lingering in the past in situations that we cannot affect or change. And not being anxious for the future in scenarios and situations that have 100 different outcomes, 100 different possibilities. But be here right now. Pay attention to your breath, the quality of your breath, the texture, the temperature. How it feels coming into your nose, traveling down your airway and into your lungs. And how it feels as it leaves your nose. Removing stale air from the body. That natural detoxification process. Bringing fresh oxygen in. And removing stale air out. Sustaining life with just those two simple actions, a breath in and a breath out. So if your mind tries to time travel during this meditation, come back to the breath, bringing your mind's eye back to the awareness of the simple but life-sustaining inhale and exhale. And in that mind's eye, count out 10 breaths. Don't rush them. We have plenty of time. Time is abundant. Your breath is abundant. This space is abundant. And you are abundant. This season of spring focuses on that abundance. Finish up those final counted breaths. And then bring your mind's eye awareness to your senses. Starting first with your sense of hearing and sound. Just tune in to any sound that you hear, one at a time. The sounds of the birds, the harbingers of spring, chirping in the trees outside. the vibrations of the music, the ticking of the clock, the buzzing of voices outside the room, the sounds of the cars as they go by outside the window, hearing each sound individually, without creating stories or feelings, emotions attached to those sounds. Simply exercising the skill of observing, flexing our muscle of being present. Then allow this sense of sound to hear all the sounds at once. Not in an overwhelming way, but in a way of putting your finger on the pulse of life. One skill to practice in being here now is understanding that life continues to go on no matter where we are. Bring your awareness now to your sense of sight, even though our eyes may be closed. Perhaps you're meditating with the eyelids heavy and not completely closed. But you can still perceive light and dark, shapes and shadows, the shifting sunlight, the drifting clouds behind closed eyelids. Perhaps seeing in that mind's eye the visual picture to the physical sound that we perceive with our ears. Again, exercising, flexing that muscle of being here now and not creating stories, narratives, or attaching emotion, just simply observing. Perhaps you can even see in your mind's eye the wavelength of the music. The size of the trucks as they rumble by. And bringing your awareness to the sense of touch, feeling in the skin, tuning into your body's temperature, whatever you may be feeling on your skin, the warmth of the sunlight, the coolness of the shadows, the tickling feet of the fly that won't leave me alone. The connection of your limbs, your body against the earth, the feeling of your clothing against your skin. And tuning in your awareness to your sense of smell. Whatever fragrances that you can perceive, maybe it's your own self. Sweet perfume, crisp air. Your sacred sweat. Tuning your awareness into your sense of taste while we are not actively tasting anything. Perhaps you just ate lunch. Perhaps you can savor your inhales and exhales. Almost as though you can taste them on the tip of your tongue. And practicing the ability to turn on to all of our, tune in to all of our senses at once. As they work together in harmony, sound, sight, touch, smell, and taste. Not competing for attention or bouncing from one to another. But working together in harmony. Giving your mind no task at all but to observe. To be nowhere else but to be here now. Working with our innermost self to dissolve old stories, old narratives, no longer serve us. Working with our innermost self not to spin tales around single situations or circumstances. Working with our innermost self to be grounded in reality. Not in an effort to discount dreams, but to be here now. And to be here now. And to be here now. To be fully present in each second, not as the seconds tick by, but as the seconds flow from one to another, mimicking the fluidity of our breath, the seamless system of our senses, that union, that yoke between body and mind, bridged by our breath. Return your awareness back to that breath. Counting out your final 10 inhales and exhales. Not rushing. We have plenty of time. Time is abundant. Our breath is abundant. This space is abundant. You are abundant. The universe is abundant. Reminding yourself that when we feel pressure, when we feel stress, when we feel split into a million pieces and pulled in a million different directions, that we can come back here now. That we are abundant, and that the universe is abundant. That we exist in abundance, and we dwell in the here and now. Finish up your final breaths. Slowly begin to reanimate your fingers and toes, bringing the physical body back into this physical realm. Just a little bit at a time, and move your head gently. Roll from one side over to the other side. And then being very kind and gentle to your physical self, take your time to move over onto one side of your body. And curl up. Stay there for a moment in this position, the seedling pose, fetal position, representing new life. Because even though life goes in cycles of death and birth, of growth, trajectory up and trajectory down, it is abundant. Slowly press yourself up to whatever seated position you would like to end your practice in, keeping the eyelids heavy or closed. Gently bring your palms to touch at heart center. The light in me honors and sees the light inside you. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining today. If you're doing the spring cleaning challenge, tomorrow's journal prompt is very much on being here now. So that's in your group. If you're not, don't worry about it, but there is a nice little YouTube video that goes along with it. So there's 2 prompts in there, the journal prompt and then the YouTube video to watch. If anybody's interested in the YouTube video, I can send it to you. Charlotte picked it, so that was all Charlotte's journal prompt for tomorrow. So, and I've got this recording, so I'll put it in your group as well if you want to come back to that. That's just a presence, mindful, being here now in the present moment, but using all of our senses. Sometimes those can be a weapon when we're out in the world where everything is competing for our attention through our senses, but we can use it also as a superpower, right? Thank you, guys. Thanks, Patty. Thanks, Beth.